2014 is all but over. We had a good year in movies. We had plenty of good movies and we had plenty of bad movies. So, I'm going to take a look at some of the movies that we can expect in the next year, 2015. That's right everyone. I'm going to go through and name all the big titles that I can possibly think of. I went through IMDb a couple minutes before this and typed up all the big movie releases that we're going to be seeing in 2015. Looks like 2015 will be the year of the sequel. So, kicking us off in January 2nd, I believe, is Woman in Black 2. Woman in Black was a big surprise hit in the world of horror, starring Johnny Radcliffe. Now, he won't be coming back for this next one, but it still looks to deliver much on the thrills that the original did. Next up, we have Taken 3, which is obviously the third installment in the Liam Neeson starring Brian Mills action film. Hopefully, in my mind, this will be a trilogy capper and we don't continue on with franchises after that. After that, we have Paddington Bear, or just Paddington for for the sake of this movie. Now, Paddington is a family-friendly film, family-friendly live-action mixed with CGI film. Next up, in February, we have Jupiter Ascending, which is the next movie from the Wachowski brothers, who were the visionary minds behind the Matrix trilogy. Also, that weekend is the SpongeBob movie. We got one many years back, but now we have another one that's also another live-action meets animated movie. A week after that, we also have Kingsman Secret Service, which is English secret agents basically doing secret tasks that no one else wants to do, as well as 50 Shades of Grey movie, both coming out that same weekend. Sorry, Kingsman, you really don't stand a chance against middle-aged women. Finally, to round us out for the month of February, we have Hot Tub Time Machine 2. Like I said, this is going to be the year of sequels, and we're only scratching the surface when it comes to sequels. In March, we have another live-action version of Cinderella, this time directed by Kenneth Branagh, who is the director of Thor and a lot of other Shakespearean movies. Then we also have yet another Paranormal Activity movie. Hopefully this time will finally be the last one, but no guarantees on that one. Also in March we have Insurgent, which is the next installment in the Divergent franchise, which just started last year by Shailene Woodley. Next up in April we have two sequels. The first is Fast 7, which is the 7th installment in the Fast and Furious franchise. They're hoping for this movie to be a nice send-off to Paul Walker, who tragically died this year in a car accident. So they will have some parts of him and some parts with his brother stepping in as a stunt double, but they hope to have it as a nice send-off and farewell to him. The second movie that's coming out is Paul Blart 2. Now, I like the original and hope that they can continue the fun and not taking themselves too seriously approach that they did with the first one. Now, the heavy hitters start coming out now, because we're getting into summer movie season, the big blockbusters. So, starting us off in May, Avengers: Age of Ultron. The Avengers are put to their toughest test yet as they face off against Ultron. Who will live? Who will die? We'll find out in May. Superheroes not your thing? How about acapella? The next weekend after Avengers, you have Pitch Perfect 2, which is everyone coming back from the original, as well as some new faces. Also coming out Pitch Perfect 2 weekend, Mad Max Fury Road. If you're like post-apocalyptic films, that will be the one that you want to check out that weekend. Also in May, we have the new Brad Bird film, Tomorrowland. Brad Bird also directed Mission Impossible 4, as well as The Incredibles, so it should be fun. Rounding us out for May is yet another sequel, Insidious 3, which I have yet to see either of the Insidious films, but I've heard they're very good and very entertaining, so let's hope that they can keep the franchise going, and once again, they stop after 3. Now, that takes us into June. June sees 3 potentially big blockbusters. The first, Jurassic World. If you want to find out more about that, check out my Jurassic World trailer review, as well as my other trailer review for Star Wars Episode 7, which I'll get to later this year. After Jurassic World, we have Inside Out, which is that year's Disney film, which is taking a look at the little characters in our brains that emit emotion, which should be a lot of fun. I like Disney movies and the plot sounds interesting. Finally in June, we have, 3 guesses, a sequel, this time for Ted 2. Ted 1 was a fun and surprisingly entertaining trip, so I don't know if it can recapture the same kind of magic as the first one, as Seth MacFarlane has hit a bumpy road as of late, but it should be fun if you're going with not as much expectations. That brings us to July. July kicks us off with Terminator Genisys. Now this movie has had some controversy surrounding it by die-hard Terminator fans, but it should still be interesting seeing a reboot/sequel to the Terminator franchise, and hopefully it feels more like original Terminator and not like Terminator Salvation. After Terminator, we have 2 very different movies. We have Magic Mike 2, which will bring in a lot of the female audiences, and the Minions. Yes, the Minions from Despicable Me are getting their own movie. That'll bring in more of the family crowd, so interesting to see who will get more cash out of that. Ending us off for July is Ant-Man. Now, Ant-Man has been a bit of a production nightmare, having lost Edgar Wright after he was working on the project for over 10 years. But Disney quickly found a replacement, and they're still set to be on schedule for release July of next year. Another Marvel movie, except this one is not owned by the headquarters of Marvel, this is owned by Fox, is the Fantastic Four reboot. Now, this one has had a lot of fan backlash, but once again, we don't know how the film will be until it comes out. So, either way, for good or for bad, I do expect this to make a lot of money, because Fantastic Four is a property that fans tend to get attached to, and hopefully this one will be better than the original ones that we got. The other two films that are coming out in August are Goosebumps. Yes, the children's stories, Goosebumps, are getting made into a movie. And the second is yet another sequel. I'm telling you, there's a trend coming in 2015. This time it is Sinister 2. Now, Sinister, that's a creepy movie. That's one of the scariest I've seen in modern day. If you haven't, go check it out. Hopefully the second one delivers on the scares. That brings us to September and October. I brought them both together because collectively they don't have that many movies. So I put them in one. September only has one notable movie release, and that is Hotel Transylvania 2. Hopefully, I'm not sure, but I think most of the cast is returning, helmed by Adam Sandler. In October, we have London Has Fallen, which is the sequel to the Gerard Butler action film Olympus Has Fallen, in which the White House was under attack, and the Jungle Book movie, which is another live-action adaptation of the Rudyard Kipling novel. But since there wasn't that many in September, October, there's a lot of movies in November. Starting us off is Spectre, aka James Bond 24. Spectre has also been the victim of the Sony hacks and emails, but it should, at the moment, still be on pace to come out in November 2015, so we'll see how that goes. Also coming out that same weekend is the Peanuts movie. I like the animation style that I saw in the trailer, I like the Peanuts a lot, so naturally I'm excited for this movie. I'm not excited, however, for Friday the 13th. Yes, we are getting another Friday the 13th movie. I don't know why, but hopefully they'll get the hint that this will be the last one we get for a while, because I'm sick of seeing them. We also have the conclusion to the Hunger Games franchise coming November 2015 with Mockingjay Part 2. Now, I'm not a huge Hunger Games fan, don't destroy me in the comment section, but I can understand why people are, and I know there's going to be a lot of hype going around this. Finally, rounding us out for November is The Good Dinosaur, which is Pixar's movie coming out in 2015. Now, there's not a lot of plot details on that, naturally, because it's so far off, but I have faith in Pixar, and I like dinosaurs, so it sounds like a good combo. And rounding us out is December 2015, The Force will be with you as Force Awakens in Star Wars Episode 7. Now, if you want to get more information on that, check out my trailer review that I posted, where I give my thoughts on the film, and the trailer that was attached that came out about a couple weeks ago. So, that's your rundown on all the big movies that are coming out in 2015. Any that I missed? Any that you're super excited for, any that you're not so excited, well, let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you see and you want to see more, go to facebook.com/movieguy17 or Twitter at nmovieguy17. Stay sharp, movie guys and gals.